Hello, brothers and sisters. Happy Thursday. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it? Snow, rain, slush, all that good stuff. You wouldn't expect it to be the first day of spring, and yet here we are. Not only is it spring, but it's also day 4 of the social distancing spring break, or SDSB, as I've been calling it in my head. I don't think it's going to catch on, but you never know. Man, it just feels like it's been a while since we've been able to get together. And I think if we're honest, it's probably going to be a while before we're able to get together as a church family, as a youth group, as brothers and sisters in Christ. Getting a text just yesterday, Douglas County schools are closed until after Easter. It's going to be interesting to see how things go and how things change as we head through this season of life together. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get something out to everybody. We've been trying to figure out how best to minister in this situation. I mean, it caught us by surprise, just like pretty much everybody else, I'm sure. And so there's been a lot of research and a lot of, hey, what could we do? We've been trying new things. Thanks so much to everyone who came out last night, Wednesday, to hang out with us on Discord. Again, we're just trying new things to figure out what might it look like to be the church together when we can't meet in large spaces. I think it's a really cool opportunity. I'm really excited about it. In a lot of ways, it helps us to get back to what I think the early church was like. Though the early church didn't have phones and cameras and online presence, there was a lot more just of the small group interaction, of the caring for one another without being able to gather. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm sure that some of you guys are probably going stir crazy. You are just craving human interaction. Others of you, man, I've heard you're doing sleepovers and hangouts and going and doing all kinds of crazy things. Like, I'm glad that it seems like by and large, not a whole lot has changed for many of us. But I have a feeling that might begin to look different as the weeks go on, especially if they get into months and whatnot. So, my encouragement for all of us in this season is like, man, there are some really amazing opportunities. I mean, like never before seen opportunities. Think of it like this. You've spent most of your life, the past 13, 15, 17 years, being shuttled from one thing to another. You never had a spare moment, really. And I heard that a lot from you guys as we would hang out on Wednesdays or on Sundays. Like, I've just been so busy and we've got so many things going on. Now all of that's gone. There are no sports to prep for. There's no extracurriculars to get ready for. There's no school. There's very little homework. And suddenly, all this time has opened up for you and for me. And, Scripture is really clear about this. Like Paul's writing in Ephesians, and he reminds us that we belong to Jesus because of what Jesus has done. And there's like the first 3 chapters are all just him saying, here is who you are because of Christ. And then he begins to turn and shift gears and saying, now therefore live a life worthy of the calling you have received, of the calling is placed upon your life. And one of those pieces of advice that he gives is make the most of the time. Make the most of the opportunity that's there before you. And so as we're hanging out at home with family, there's a couple things I want to encourage you to do to take advantage of the time. The first one is I would really encourage every one of us to commit to spending a little bit of time every day with Jesus, in his word, in prayer, whatever that might look like for you. I think if we're really honest, most of us would probably place time with Jesus, whether that be the church or our own individual time or whatever it might be, we kind of place it pretty low on the totem pole. Pretty much everything else tends to take priority over it. So if we have a sporting event, if we have schoolwork, if we have whatever, like that tends to bump our loving of Jesus, our time with Jesus, to the very bottom. And now that that's all gone, we got an opportunity to create some really beautiful habits. And my prayer has been every day since we learned that, hey, we're not going to be able to get together very much, has been that God would draw us nearer, that you would have an experience with God at home. And so commit even just right now. I'm going to spend 5 minutes a day. I'm going to spend 10 minutes a day. I'm just going to read a chapter. I'm going to try to spend some time with Jesus, and I'm going to make that a priority, because what else you got to do? At some point, you're going to run out of Disney Plus things to watch, or Netflix things to watch, or YouTube. Yes, at some point, this is going to get boring. The more time we spend on our screens being distracted, the less satisfying it's going to be. So what if we just started now, making time to spend with Jesus? Another thing I would encourage you to do to take advantage of the time that we've got is, for every hour you spend on a screen, why don't you spend like 15 minutes with Jesus? Or just read 15 minutes. Read the Bible for 15 minutes. Read another book for 15. Like, get off the screen and spend a little bit of time reading in that way. So every hour, read a chapter, spend 50 minutes with Jesus. That's in addition to the time that you get to spend with him earlier. And so what's going to happen is you're going to be like, wow, I'm reading a lot, or I'm doing a lot of different things. And yeah, it's good. You're going to get familiar with the Bible. And as you get familiar with the Bible, you're going to be able to see more of Christ in that. A third thing I would recommend for us to take advantage of the time is to connect with others. Some of you are already doing that, and that's fantastic. You've got your text groups with your friends. You've got your FaceTimes that you do with the people that you're close to. Man, I would encourage you to connect with others in the church as well. Now, we can't necessarily do it face-to-face right now, but reach out. We're trying to do new things. Come hang out with us on Discord. Link will be available below. Do Google Hangouts with some friends. Invite some people that maybe you don't normally hang out with. Some just people that you know from youth group. Get a hold of me. I'll be happy to help you find people that maybe would love to hang out with you. But connect with others. Connect with your family. Let's just be really honest. You're stuck in a home with mom, dad, and all the brothers and sisters. That's going to be hard now and then. But try your best to connect. Play games together. Ask them about their time with Christ. Encourage one another in that face-to-face way among your family. And then do the same thing with your friends. Don't just keep it real surface. If most of your friends are school friends and you don't have that relationship with Christ with them to share, then maybe you can introduce that. Or let's connect with the church and find our encouragement there. So those are the three things I would encourage you to do to take advantage of the time that we've got, because it's at least another week, possibly more, before things might begin to look more normal, and who knows what might happen after that. But I know that you've probably got some obstacles. There's probably some objections as you think about all of this stuff. The first one being like, David, you want me to spend time with Jesus? But quite honestly, I'm at home and it's really hard for me to connect with Christ. And I get it, man. I'm in the office right now because when I'm at home, I've got some habits, attitudes about when I get home. Something's just weird about home that makes it hard to do some of the things that I really want to do when it comes to loving Christ and to spending time with Jesus. I get it. Let's just acknowledge it, okay? It's sometimes hard to spend time with Jesus at home. Maybe you feel like I've never encountered him at home. It only happens when I'm outside or when I'm on retreat or when I'm at church, whatever it might be. Well, hey, look, there's a new opportunity here. And so what I would encourage, if home is a problem, is maybe to set aside a special place. Like, reserve a place this is going to be where I meet with Jesus. It could be in your closet. Let's go old school prayer closet style. Maybe it's outside on a bench in your backyard, or a chair in your yard, or maybe you got to go to a walk to a park. Not today, obviously. Sorry, I'm pointing to my window over here. It's kind of snowy, but man, find a place, and then that becomes your place, your special place to meet with Jesus. And that might help to get past some of the home issues of encountering God. Another obstacle or objection, you might be like, well, David, yeah, Jesus is pretty low on my priority list. I've got a lot of things I want to watch. I got a lot of games I want to play. I've got friends I want to hang out with. You know what? Those are all going to be distractions at some point. They're all going to kind of stop being as fulfilling. And so I would encourage you, if the phone is the primary problem or the computer is the primary problem, one way that we might get around that is, it's a common rule of just no phone, no electronics, no screens before I've spent time with Jesus. You wake up, I know the first thing is to grab your phone, or the first thing is to go to wherever your computer is and turn it on. That's been my habit for a long time. What if you just said no and then walked out to wherever it is your space is, opened your Bible, spent 5, 10, 15 minutes reading and praying, and we'll talk more about that in another video, but what if you did that first, and then you started playing the games, then you started watching the videos? Talking to one of our middle schoolers on Tuesday on Google Hangout, and we're asking, hey, how's your time with Jesus? And he said, it's so cool. I can wake up late and there's still time to spend with Jesus. I don't have to worry about if I woke up 10 minutes later than usual, only having 5 minutes. Now I've got the full time. Friends, we can do that. You've got time. Take advantage of it. And a third thing that we might have a problem with is, obstacle or objections to spending time with Christ is maybe we just don't know how. Maybe we just don't know how. And that's where I want to encourage you. That's okay. Check the next video. We're going to talk a little bit about how we might read or how we might spend time with Jesus. And there I'm going to give you some more resources and more advice on that. But in the meantime, just start. I know that there's some of you guys out there who are really struggling. Like, I just don't hear God. I don't know if he's really real. I don't encounter him. What I want to encourage you with is the primary way God talks to us is through his word. And if you're looking for an earthquake or you're looking for a fire, a lot of times God speaks in the whisper, and that whisper is through his word. So you've got all this time. There's nothing happening. Ain't no one doing nothing right now. Let's take the time to build some habits, to meet with Jesus, and to ask him, hey, God, change me in the midst of all of this. So there you go. Make the most of the time this week, friends. Today, my challenge to you is to set aside some time, meet with Christ, and then commit to doing that every day as long as we're doing this thing. All right? We'll talk to you later. Keep the faith. Stay warm out there.